Good morning, good morning. Hey, I like our little intro music, man. I'll be getting hyped. You know what I'm saying? It sound like a ticking time bomb about to go off. You know what I'm saying? When it's like the
The
22nd.
countdown.
I'll be
Oh
like,
my god.
man. What's going on TikTok? TikTok. We got about 60 on the TikTok. What y'all doing today, man? Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We live. We got questions, we got answers. YouTube. God, I need to have just write down a list of everywhere we stream. Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all the different places, man. Good morning, y'all. We're back. The team is back. Yeah, I know Sharnice was sick last week. I had to improv, Tamaya asked me 1,000 questions. I think I answered them pretty good and was able to help a couple of you all out. This week we're gonna do the same, except Money Mac Boss. Don't know what that even means. But Money Mac Boss Sharnice
is my maiden name. Leave me alone, bro.
Oh, it is. I get it now. Jesus. Oh man. All right, I get it.
So encouraging.
I understand. I'm laughing, y'all. All right. So I think on TikTok I'm sideways. It says, "How can you guys give my cousin Dixon Maza a shout out?" Sure can. Let me fix that camera for TikTok. Hey, TikTok, is that better?
Dixon. Still sideways.
Is it Mayez? Is it Mayez? Mayaz. What? How you say that last name? Yes, Dixon Mayez. Shout out to Dixon, man. I'm not sure what the specific shout outs for, but that's our first shout out request. I'm excited to give it. Shout out to Dixon.
We should do that. Look, we should do that. Take requests to give shout outs every Wednesday. Like,
yeah, listen,
make that a segment right after the opener. Yeah, I like that. That's cute.
Oh my goodness. All right. So I guess I'll start off with the apology to IG. So apparently Instagram was working. Instagram was working for like 2 weeks, 3 podcasts, and then all of a sudden it stopped. People were like, AKP, I'm trying to write you on Instagram, and they couldn't see us. Oh, we got like 9 likes going. Hey, TikTok, man, let's make sure we get them likes up. We can get more people in here the more y'all like it. But yeah, Instagram is no longer working again, so that's bad. Facebook, if you guys
do you apologize to Instagram, or do you say, at this point, Instagram pay me, because like we shout you out every podcast?
Yeah, I'm to the point where it's like Instagram. I'm sorry. I've been giving you guys an apology since August of last year, and yeah, I'm not gonna keep doing that. Look at them likes. Appreciate it, man. LG, thank you. Fred Gomez, Roy. I need to start shouting out everybody that comes in. That's what we need to start doing. Shout out to all the people with the likes and the hearts and the comments and the roses and all the things. Sharnice, in the meantime, can you open this up? What is our
we don't have I don't have an official one. I didn't pull nothing up, so I'm just going to improv. I'm just going to ad lib. Like, good morning, you guys. Welcome to the Wake Up Wednesday podcast, where week after week we bring you different aspects and industries. And in the event that we do not have a guest speaker, we're going to freestyle, so to speak. Not really freestyle, but it'll be different, just to give you guys different aspects of credit, finance, family, things of that nature. This day today, we do not have a guest speaker. So I'm going to be the focal point. Apparently, I have no idea what we have planned because KP is, he gonna keep me on my toes, and apparently I work better that way. So I don't know. I don't know what we got in store for y'all today. I think we're doing money. I don't know.
we got some questions. Well, we got a question. I'm gonna answer.
Okay.
How do you remove authorized users if it is reported negatively? Wait, so I guess the question. So Melissa asked that question. She said, "How do you remove authorized users if it's reporting negatively?" So I guess the way I need to ask your question.
Okay, so it sounds like they're asking if they're the authorized user, how do you remove? First of all, Capital One, right. I'm going to say that it depends on the financial institution itself. Capital One, once you are not an authorized user anymore, they typically delete the trade line and all of the history, so it doesn't impact you. If it's anything outside of Capital One, and I'm speaking from personal experience with that, I think it's really going to depend on the individual. But typical, disputing methods. If you're the authorized user.
Okay, so Melissa, I guess that's what I was gonna say. If you the authorized user, then yeah, she'd have to reach out to the primary to get her removed, right?
Yeah, because she would have the account information to get into the into the account. So yeah, ask them to remove you. Depending on the institution, they're going to remove the trade lines anyway. If it's like Barclays or something, it's going to be on whatever tool it reported to.
Yeah, she just responded again. She said she's an authorized user on someone else. So yeah, you got to reach out to the primary person and just have them remove you. It's still going to
tell them to get their utilization down.
Well, no, it might not be utilization. She just said it's negative. Payment. She didn't say. Yeah, it could be late payments. It could be.
Man. Yeah, tell them to remove you as soon as possible, and definitely before the account closes, if that's the situation. I have no idea. I'm just speculating. Get disassociated with it as much as possible. And because it's an authorized user, you're not going to be able to say that identity was stolen because typically permission is given for something like that. So reach out to a credit expert, and then go under whatever specific guidance they have planned for you. So definitely go with somebody that you trust, not just some random Joe Schmo on the internet that fixes credit.
I got another one. It says my CC is maxed out. What will be the best strategy to pay it back?
That sounds like a KP question.
It is a KP question. I was gonna see if you were gonna answer.
Oh, look, am I?
So it's different ways. It's different ways to. It's different ways to go about paying them. Oh, he said I have a job. Okay, that's even better because you need money. I always tell people you're gonna have to have money to pay it back. So my favorite strategy is the credit. Well, I guess it depends on if you have a rewards credit card or not. If you have a rewards credit card, then I would suggest continuing to use the credit card for everything. When you get your paycheck, put your whole paycheck on the credit card. That way you maintain your on-time payments, and then keep using it. The more you use it, the more the credit card is going to pay you or reward you for it. Use the reward points to then pay it back more. So like on a strategy, a lot of times people get afraid of this because they feel like, oh, if I put all my money on my credit card, I don't have any money. The reality of it is the bank gave you that money and you spent their money. You got to pay them back. So dump it all into if you want to put a little to the side just for a rainy day, do that, but put your entire paycheck on your credit card and continue to use that credit card if it's a reward card. If it's not a reward card, you want to, I guess, I don't want to say manufacturer spend because he's already maxed out. You want to use, it's not really manufacturer spending, but you want to use third-party apps that will pay you to use them for your everyday expenses. So you're still spending organically. You're still buying the things that you would normally buy, but instead you have to go through third-party apps such as Rakuten, or Rakuten is my favorite one, but it's different apps that will allow you to make money by spending money. if you go to Walmart, you can get 3% back on Walmart. If you shop at Nike, you get 10% back at Nike. Like, depending on where you shop, use these apps. The Upside app, you get like 2% back when you buy gas. We all buy gas. I know you're gonna buy gas for your car, so you may as well get money back. That way, you're continuing to spend normally, but these apps are paying you back little bits. It's not gonna get rich overnight, but little bits at a time, and you're going to continue to use the money that they're paying you to further pay your credit cards back until either you come up with some money to go ahead and dump a lot into it, or it pays it all back. I've clients that have used the cash back money from these apps to pay their cards down in full and then go and apply for a credit limit increase. It's a win-win situation. So that would be my strategy. If you have a rewards card, go crazy with it. If you don't have a reward card, you have to strategically use these third-party apps. If you got a rewards card, go crazy with the rewards card and use the third-party apps. There you can get more money. So it's a win-win. Facebook user said, "Good morning."
The name didn't pop up, so we don't know who you are. Hello. Good morning.
We got okay, let me grab my coffee. Knowledge. Yes,
Hi,
ma'am.
me.
I was getting ready to say yes. I see her and a guy. I didn't know if that was hers or his, but good morning.
It's hers. Let me see. So I think it's for that particular question that you just answered, I had a friend who's like, I have credit cards, I'm approaching my limit. What do I do? People get overwhelmed when you say take your whole paycheck and dump it on your credit card. And they're like, what money am I gonna have? The credit card. Like, you just have to, like KP said, create a plan. It don't hurt. Literally, once the money becomes available again, you can use it. You just have to a bit like strategically get it to the point to where when you're dumping your entire paycheck on your credit card, hopefully that the credit card isn't like this ridiculous limit, but if it's a moderate limit, 5,000 or less, put your whole paycheck on it and then use it moderately until you can. I'm going to say be strategic with the reporting date, because I tend to max out my lower limit cards because the goal for me is to increase my limit in 6 months without me having to request it. But you have to everything is about strategy when you're using credit cards. Everything.
All right. So that's looks like that's our TikTok questions. And then, like I said, if y'all have questions, just ask them and we'll answer them live. Oh, can you list third-party apps you recommend? So the only one I recommend is Rakuten, but don't go download it because I gotta send you my my link. So
why you don't have it? Why you don't have it already? You should have been ready.
I wasn't planning on.
No, you should have knew. I don't care. You should have knew that they were gonna ask this question and be ready. So you could already have it in the chat.
.com/r. Boom. I just got it popped up. Let me make it pop up on the screen. Look. Now y'all see that's my Rakuten sign up app. Rakuten is my go-to for everything. That's my go-to for everything. Mine is gas and groceries. Gas and groceries have different apps. Gas is Upside. I also have a link for that. And then grocery, shoot, I gotta ask Jazz. Jazz uses the groceries one more than I do.
I use coupons and Fetch and look. Oh my God, Ibotta. Yes, I remember. I haven't used them in a long time, but yeah, I used to use those. They all do.
So, like, I had to close my phone and find the apps that I use because, like, I just click. I got a whole app folder on my iPhone. I just hit it. Like, all right, what I'm about to buy? Find it and then buy it. Like, don't. You shouldn't be spending money unless it's gonna make you money. That's with anything. Even I'm telling you, when I buy candy for the kids, I'll go through the Walmart app to buy the candy because even though it's a $1.50 candy, that 17-cent reimbursement will add up over the year. People don't like to look at the long.
Does Ibotta still do the receipt upload? So like if you make the purchase, you can upload your receipt and still get cash back.
I think that's the only way Ibotta do. You still get cash back, and they give you 25 cents per receipt plus the reimbursement of whatever you bought. So you get 25 cents for every single receipt, plus whatever the percentages that they were given for the items you bought. So Ibotta gives you a little bit more. Upside is with the gas. Like I said, you guys got to get gas. Rakuten is for miscellaneous expenses. So like if you're buying, apparel, buying shirts and clothes and shoes and things like that. I know Rakuten at times, I've seen Rakuten hit 15%. So imagine if you somebody's name brand apparel, H&M, Nike, Adidas, like name brand stuff, and you're spending hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars at 15%, you're getting some money back. You're getting $100, $150, $200 back on the app. The good thing about Rakuten, or at least it's good for me, Rakuten only pays you out every 3 months. So it accumulates all of that money, and then you get a fat check. I mean, look, these are all cash back checks. Like, I keep them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I keep my check. I mean, I mobile deposit them, but I keep them because I like to see, like, damn, I made all this money just from cash back.
Regular spending.
Right. So we got all the questions answered. Let's get into the nitty gritty or the real questions. The Mac boss, whatever.
I don't know what I put on there. Like, I thought I was doing this for you, so you didn't even. You couldn't even. I'm not answering nothing. All right, y'all. I'm out. That's all I got. I'm out. No, I'm just playing. Go ahead. Right, what's the first question?
If y'all have follow-up questions, guys, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram,
y'all or any questions.
Yeah. Or any questions. It might not even be related to what we're talking about. If y'all got questions, period, make sure you ask them. So the first one is, what is the first step in managing debt effectively?
You have to know how much you make. You have to know what your outgoing expenses are. So for me personally, household, I'm going to add up everything that I have coming in that is set income. So if you're working a 9 to 5, make sure you're adding up all of that. If you have passive income, if you're receiving child support, male or female, whichever one, make sure you have all of your income and then all of your expenses. And then for me personally, I do spending plans because I still like to buy whatever I'm going to buy. I just like to, create like a smaller budget for that, whatever it is. So for me, I feel like spending plans are the most effective, but once you pretty much know what your expenses are, you can determine what you want to cut. And I'm all for, if I'm doing subscriptions, this is me personally. I don't know what y'all do. My family, me and my mom and my sister or my siblings or whatever, we share passwords. So if one person gets a Netflix, the other person gets Hulu, somebody gets Disney or whatever it is, we all swap. Everybody has an account on everybody's profile or whatever, so we make it work. We're only paying for one subscription, but we got access to everything.
Got another one from TikTok. Mm-hmm. How can I track all my subscriptions? I feel like I'm being charged everywhere. I know a way to fix it. I don't know how to track it, but I know how to fix it.
You can use Truebill so that you can track all your expenses. Truebill, yep.
All right. Truebill, that's the way. That's Shanice's suggested way. My suggested way is not to track it; it's how to cancel it. Just report your card loss. Every subscription you got on that card is I made a TikTok. I think I made a YouTube about this too. Like when
you know what? That's the fastest way.
Yeah,
that's absolutely the fastest way to do it.
This is the reason why I say this is because if you report your card loss, right, all of your subscriptions are going to get canceled due to non-payment. And then you're going to notice the ones that you're really using, you're going to be like, oh, damn, my Hulu doesn't work. Let me go update my card to the new card. Now I only keep Hulu. I could have been paying for Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, some Apple apps. I could have been paying for 10 things, but really only using my Hulu. So if I report my card loss, everything's going to get canceled. Then when I start to notice, then I go rebuy it.
Or you can lock all of your credit cards. If you don't have to get a replacement, once they try to bill it, they can't bill it. They will cancel. You'll get notifications. Hey, this, subscription tried to charge. And you know, give us our money, basically. You can cancel it at that point if you want to. Locking is the easiest way. You don't have to wait 7 to 10 days for a new card to be shipped.
If you don't need to wait for the card, then cancel them things.
Yeah. He said cancel everything. Y'all gonna be without money for 10 days messing with KB. Lock the cards. That's my
Listen,
personal.
they ain't gonna be struggling for cash. You can do what I did with Navy
Oh my
Fed. So
God.
you can report, you can ask for a new card. Well, nah, that's not gonna work because that's gonna give you the same card number. I was gonna say ask for a new card, and then when the new card comes, then cancel the old card, but it's the same number. You gotta ask, you gotta tell them you lost your card, so they cut it off.
I'm gonna say this again. Your lock your cards and then wait, 30 days and it will everything will cancel.
All
So
right,
it's cheaper.
we're gonna go with lock your card. We're gonna go with lock your card.
Yeah.
All right. Let's push to the next one. How can I prioritize my debts to pay them off strategically? So I got an answer for that one.
Okay.
The snowball method. So when you have multiple debts, depending on what they are, you want to put them in order of the amount owed. Actually, is it the interest? Snowball debt is the interest owed, right? You want to do the highest interest first.
I do avalanche. I do it in reverse. So yeah, I go with the highest interest. I go the biggest
Yeah.
to the smallest.
Yeah, I do snowball, which is the smallest debt first.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
right to interest. I don't really care for the interest too much because I mean most of the time a lot of people that owe on their credit cards, the interest rates aren't going to be astronomical because typically this is typically not true set in stone. Typically the higher interest credit cards aren't giving you high credit limits anyway. So if you have a higher limit, like maybe a 25% credit card, chances are you got less than $1,000 credit limit. So I would suggest paying off the lower debts first and then hitting up the higher debt. So like say you have 3 credit cards. Prime example. If you have 3 credit cards, credit card A has a $100 debt, credit card B has $1,000 debt, and credit card C has a $10,000 debt. You have money, you have a job, you're paying off your credit cards on time, you're always paying the minimum due. What I would say is pay the minimum due for all 3 cards, but pay more or as much as you can additionally to credit card A, which has 100. The faster you can pay off credit card A, the faster you can remove one of your monthly payments. Now that you finished off credit card A, you can take the same monthly payment that you were applying to credit card A and add that to credit card B. So let's say it was $10 for credit card A and $100 for credit card B. Now you can put $110 to credit card B plus whatever extras that you have and just keep repeating that process on credit card B until credit card B is paid off. Now, when you have just credit card C, you'll take the 100 from credit card B, the 10 from credit card A, and you have an additional 110 to add to credit card C, which then you can, rinse repeat for the last card. Those numbers are I just randomly made those numbers. Obviously, everybody's numbers are going to be different, but that's how you want to strategize putting your debts in order and then paying them off from smallest to largest. You feel more of an achievement because when you pay off the smaller debts, you're like, oh my God, I finally paid that credit card off. Put it to the side. Do not be like some people when they pay their credit card off and then they immediately go to use it. That defeats the purpose. Like, in order to get out of debt, you got to get out of debt. So pay the credit card off, move on to the next one, and then keep rinse repeating. If I won't say mastered, but if you've practiced and have listened to me or if you follow me on YouTube and you understand use the credit card method, then it's acceptable to continue to use a credit card, but only if you're only using it to pay it back off in full every time or pay off what you spend every time. Like with my cash rewards card. Well, I don't know, one of these cards in the deck. But if you have a cash rewards card, I'm using that for everything. But I'm using it with the money that I have. So if I only have $50 in my bank account, I can't get $60 worth of gas. I don't have $60 to spend. I have to strategically spend that $50. All right, let me throw $30 in the gas tank on the credit card, $20 for groceries, and then I wait till Friday when I get paid. That way, I've only spent the $50 that I had. I make sure I pay that $50 back to the credit card. My checking account says 0, but my credit card isn't being overused. It's only being used for the money that I have. Mind you, it's a cash rewards credit card, so now they're rewarding me for that $50 that I spent and then it just rinse, repeats. $50 is super, super low. Most on average, what do we spend in Americans? What, $25,000 to $4,000 a month? We don't even realize it until you start budgeting your expenses. You like, how did I didn't even make this much money to have spent this much money. You're making it, you're just not tracking it, and you're spending it all.
Right.
So get rewarded.
I think that's one of the fastest ways, like writing down all of your expenses is the fastest way for you to be like, I want more money. I want more use of my money. What can I cut? Because when I started, at first I was just like, oh, I'm just going to get everything, put it on the card. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do blah, blah, blah. And I didn't realize how much I was spending. One, because I was working very high paying jobs at the time or whatever. So I just didn't care. But when I cut back with one of the jobs, like my hours, I was like, let me look at the debt that, that I have. What am I actually spending? I think I saved about $4,000 by writing everything down and coming up with like a not a crazy, and careless plan, to keep my money, which helped me in the long run. So you have to know what you're spending.
I got one. It says, are there any specific credit cards you recommend for a 650 credit score? Can't really say. The number isn't what's important. It's what's on the credit profile, because a 650 can have a late payment, and I can't recommend a Chase or American Express because of that late payment. But also a 650 could have no real age. It could just be 1 year on one credit card. 1 year with one credit card could get you 650, but that's it. So I can't recommend one of the higher tier credit cards because you don't have enough age for them to want to give you a lot of money. So the number isn't as important as what's on there. How many lines of credit do you have? Revolving, installment? I said it. Yeah. It all depends on what you have that makes up that 650. But in order, like my top 3 go-to cards will be American Express. That's 700 plus. Any of the American Express credit cards. If it is an American Express credit card, that is going to be the top tier of the top of tier. So that's number 1. Chase, for me, I call Chase American Express Junior because they give almost equal benefits and they have slightly less requirements. So I'm saying like 680 plus. With you being at 650, you're better than, I won't say better than, I'm sorry. You can get cards that are better than the subpar cards. You don't have to get the Capital Ones or the Sky, whatever that Sky card is that we hate. You don't have to get the Merrick Banks. You should be able to get a credit card with your bank, your financial institute. So whoever you're banking with, 650 should be enough to get you in the door with them. If you're with a credit union, hell, 650 might get you a $10,000 credit card, But again, it just depends on what's on there that makes that up. Like I said, you can have a 650 with a single late payment, and that late payment can stop you from getting any additional lines of credit. So it really just depends on what makes up your 650 to know who to go to. But I would suggest your bank. Go to your bank first, see if you can get a credit card with them, and then kind of go from there. Getting that is gonna drop your score. God, I hate when people don't understand this. Not saying that you don't. Alpha Male Kang 1212. That's his name. But not saying that you don't understand, but a lot of times people don't understand. When you apply for new lines of credit, it's gonna drop your score usually. Reason being is your age is gonna get reset. You added a new inquiry. Your utilization will get fixed because now you have a higher credit limit, but things are changing on your credit profile. Typically, the age is getting dropped, and that's why your score drops. A lot of people are like, man, I got this new credit card and my credit score went down 40 points. It's okay. You're going to get it back. It wasn't a negative drop. It was a positive drop. People don't really understand what that means, a positive drop. We just extended you a line of credit. We reset your age. We increased your utilization, but because we reset your age, you went from 5 years to 2 years and some change. We got to take back 40 points, So that's all it really is.
I know KP is like anti-Capital One, but if you have a 650 credit score, Capital One Saver card typically starts out at about $3,000 minimum, and it is a rewards cards. They give higher reward cards for rewards for entertainment and travel and stuff like that. So I highly recommend using that if you don't already have like access to a lot of lines of credit. So fair credit, or I'm gonna say 650 is moderate. So if that's where you are, Capital One Saver, it's kind of like an orangish, burnt orange, gold, copper card. Um, yeah. So that's typically where they start people at 3,000. And because it's a rewards cards, you can use the Rakuten, the Upside, Ibotta. You maximize all of that so that you can utilize getting more money back and then pay off the credit card. And then in 6 months, they'll increase your limit as long as you're responsibly spending without you having to request it. I'm going to say 6 months on average, depending on the profile.
I'm not I'm not like.
Yes, you are. You'll be like, I don't like Capital One. Just like every time we talk about credit cards, you'll be like, yeah, not like Capital One or nothing. But everybody because everybody. I mean, well, once you have good credit, of course, you're not gonna recommend. You know what I'm saying? Like certain levels or whatever. The goal is obviously to get to 700 or better. But if you're under that, if you're kind of like staggering, I would rather for them to have a Capital One Saver or a Capital One Platinum or a Capital One Quicksilver. Typically the Quicksilver and the Saver because it's reward cards. You know what I mean? Like I prefer people to have those over any other card instead of the Merrick Banks, the Credit One. They charge you for charging the card. Like I don't like anything that's not, man. I stay away from subprime credit cards altogether. Like I personally had to start with Open Sky, and I started with like a $200 limit just to get my foot in the door.
I knew it was Sky.
Yeah, I did. I did. I started there. I'm not gonna lie. Like when I first got into credit, my credit was so jacked. I mean, it was jacked up. I couldn't get nothing, a secured card or nothing. And Open Sky was the only institution that would take me. So I was like, you know what? Let me put up my own money. Let me just go ahead and do this. Let me figure this credit stuff out. I did not even know rewards cards existed at the time. That was like so far like, oh, I'm not at that point yet. But once you have access to credit and you don't have like your Innovis report frozen, you'll get like pre-selected and stuff like that once your credit profile starts to improve for like marketing solicitations for credit cards and stuff.
All right, let's go to the next one. We got a couple. They not bad questions. They just all over the place. Are there any effective strategies for negotiating lowering interest rates or payment plans with creditors? That's a Shanice question.
That's more so if the account is like charged off. So first of all, ChatGPT did this to us, y'all. So and KP didn't give me a topic, so it's my fault. And then it's ChatGPT. So if you have accounts that are, more so charged off, you can negotiate. This is basically what debt consolidation is. So if somebody is currently doing debt consolidations, run, because all they're doing is letting you rack up late payments on every single account that you have currently. And then they're going to help you negotiate. Okay, KP. Then they're going to have you, or they're going to negotiate on your behalf to like pay, the debt for less. Do that stuff yourself. If you're going to let it, if you're going to rack up the late payments anyway, why not? But yeah, you contact them directly once it charges off. Tell them you hit a whatever the financial hardship is, whether it's you lost your job, you lost, an additional, source of income, whatever it is, be transparent, negotiate whatever it is that works for you, create some type of payment plan, if you don't want it to go to collections. Now, if you don't care if it goes to collections, reach out to me. Reach out to me. And I don't charge people to to do this or whatever, but reach out to me for debt collections privately, and I can answer specific questions about your individual situation. So KP left, y'all. So I am going to let me jump in here and see what the next question is. I have no idea how far up I have to go. But that's okay. So the next question is, how can I allocate funds for debt repayment while still saving for emergencies? So earlier in the podcast, and I apologize for anybody who has questions. KP is the only one that can see his TikTok. So I can't see that. When he comes back, I'll answer your questions, but this is kind of just like a filler. So, in order for you to allocate money for emergencies and things of that nature, creating a spending plan is going to be in your best interest. And that's for anybody that's working. Um, I prefer spending plans over budgets because budgets are very restricting, whereas spending plans, you still have money to do everything. So you basically break it up. Um, by 50% is your income. I'm sorry, 50% are like your set expenses. Um, 30 is for fluctuating expenses, and then 20 is for, like miscellaneous things that you want to do. If you want to go to like entertainment, go out to the movies or something like that, spending plans allows you to still do everything, but um, you just break it all up. You just have a little less to do and if you don't have the right amount to do whatever it is that you want to do, just wait till your next check, put more money into that particular one. But that one in particular does allow you to save for emergencies.
Boom. Don't, did you move to a different question?
I did. I'm not
All
long
right,
winded
good.
like you with you know what I'm saying? And I can't see the TikTok questions. So I just went
I
to
would
the
still been on.
list.
I would have been on the same question, y'all.
Well, yeah,
Um,
exactly.
I'm gonna scratch some of these questions, man. We ain't about to keep going through no ChatGPT questions.
Yeah. That's well, they're filler questions, KP. So it's a filler.
All right, well that's fine. So, I want to talk about. Let's talk about starting a business. Let's start businesses. Let's see
Oh,
if anybody on the timeline, anybody got questions. What questions do y'all have related to your business? Regardless if it's your business, if you want to start a business, if you already have a business started, if you're struggling with the business, what are some of the things y'all are struggling with in your businesses or struggling with to get your business started? Whatever the case is. My thing, let's say the first step, my first struggle was understanding everything that is required to starting a business. Like when I think my first business was credit repair. Like I followed some guy on some platform. I don't know. It might have been Facebook. Some guy was hype as hell. He was like, "Hey, you can be a hero. You can be a credit hero."
hey, bro.
You could be a credit hero. And I was like, I could be a credit hero. Oh shit. Okay, well let me figure out how to be a credit hero and follow this 1, 2, 3 step-by-step guide of how to start a credit repair business and how to get clients and all the things. And don't get me wrong, it was pretty good for basics, but it didn't really help me understand automations. It didn't help me understand how to maintain my clients, how to send out emails, how to do lead nurturing, how to structure myself within my state. It was so many things that it didn't teach that kind of threw me off. And I was like, okay, because I'm scared, I'm sitting here paying people thinking that they know what's best for the business. Like I bought mini chat. I paid like $2,000 for some mini chat program.
Man.
I bought some other softwares that made letters for you with the click of a button. I bought different automation packages from people who didn't understand how they work. So I was just spending money on things that I thought I needed without really knowing what I needed. That was what my problem was when I started my business. So just like last week, I kind of touched on education. You got to know what you want to do. Game plan it before you try to do it. Like just jumping out there, that's not okay, y'all. Like jumping out there is gonna make you waste a lot of money, a lot of money. So, Shanice, what is your? I guess what will be your struggle? What was the one thing you struggled with when you first started your business?
So for me, I was like, I think I watched a, a, a short or something. It was like, get an LLC, become a millionaire. And I was like, bet, that's all I gotta do. Like, I didn't realize that business was so like stressful, it's time consuming. When you go to an entrepreneur, these are two completely different things. When you're an employee, you know what your workday looks like. Why? Because somebody was an entrepreneur and they decided to create these roles, to fit whatever this position is or whatever. So it's very, very different. I thought that if I'm an employee, I could just be an entrepreneur because somebody in a video said like, oh, you can have a business, you can do it. Like I was like, and I was confident. I was like, yes, but they didn't talk about getting clients. They didn't talk about anything. So I basically did what a lot of people do. I just jumped, both feet in the sandbox. I had no idea what I was doing. I'm not, too hard up where I'm like, oh, I didn't know what to expect, and I overcame. It took me a long time. Like when I say I wanted to give up, I was wanting to give up every quarter. It was like I'm so defeated. So mentally, I had to prepare. I wasn't ready for that. It wasn't until a year and a half into running my credit repair business that I realized that I needed to be licensed, that I needed a bond. So I didn't know anything. I didn't know none of this stuff. All I thought was get an LLC and I'm protected against lawsuits. Like I didn't know any of this stuff. It wasn't until later that I started getting like a mentor and stuff. And my mentor is like, what do your contracts look like? What does this look like? And I'm like, contracts? Like,
right.
What,
I got
what
money
do
they
you
gave you.
mean? Exactly. So I started with like this very like generic contract, but when you have a business, you have to have your business contract for your particular state. So you have to meet with an attorney. You don't have to, but it's highly recommended. Meet with an attorney to go through your contracts and make sure that you are doing services that you can do that are within that specific business, whatever it is that you're doing. Like it was so much that I had to learn on the fly, but I wouldn't take away that experience for me personally, right? Did I invest a lot of money? No, because I'm very frugal like my parents. Okay. My dad don't stand for nothing. Before I pick a mentor, I will watch them for years before I invest in anything. So a lot of the stuff I was very slow to grow because of this. And it took me, maybe 2.5 years to hit six figures. So this was not something, 9 months later I started it and then I'm like, oh my God, I'm here. It was very hard to get there. Now my goal right now is to do 6 figures a month. You know what I'm saying? And that's a completely different beast. Like you don't know that you're not ready for it until you get there.
Hey,
And
I'm
I
telling
like the rush of it. So for me, it's like, all right, I think I'm ready mentally. I'm ready for it now because I think I overcame so much in the beginning. But that's not going to be everybody's journey. Some people are going to give up. They're going to say, man, I invested $10,000. I'm going to say this, and me and KP always talk about how people lifestyle market. I don't pay attention to people's lifestyle because people rent vehicles, they rent Airbnbs. Let's not act like we can't live in a luxurious Airbnb that we've rented for a week or two or whatever the case is because it's lower cost, right? And we did some stuff in there. And then people do batch recording. So just because they recorded it in that house and it's like, oh my God, they've been putting out content in this stuff for months. Batch recording is
yeah,
a thing. All I got to do is change my outfit, change my hairstyle a little bit. You see what I'm saying? In the time that I rented that Airbnb, and I'm gonna put out content. So I don't pay
guilty.
attention. I don't pay attention to lifestyle marketing because they're selling you the lifestyle that they created. It's a facade for, I'm gonna say, about 90% of the people that you're watching. So if you've ever seen if you ever seen me and KP's lifestyle, we're very quiet. You've never seen our lifestyle. If you know what cars we drive, it's literally because we're doing something. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't talk about what our houses look like. We don't talk about what our cars look like. We don't do any of that stuff because if you're gonna follow a mentor's expertise, you need to be attracted to that person because of their knowledge, and it's more so than what can they fulfill for you. So I like to attract people that are right for me, not somebody that's like, oh my God, look at that new Maybach that you just got. I'm gonna get one, but y'all
It's
not
funny
gonna know.
when you were saying the batch recordings, because I posted the picture to Alaska a day late, so everybody was like, "You in Alaska?" I was like, "No."
Yeah,
So
no, for real. Like,
when you texted me, he was like, what the fuck you doing in Alaska?" And I was like, "Oh, that was yesterday." And she was like, "Well, why you just posted?" I was like, "I forgot."
I hate you, bro. Like, what are you doing? Y'all, KP jump on flights just because he can. He was like, I was going to, what did you say you were going to New York this morning?
I
Just
was at
because,
the beginning of the podcast. I was taking the kids to New York to get some pizza. Like New York pizza, y'all know how New York pizza is. Y'all knew New York. Is it New Yorkers? Is that what that was New York people called New Yorkers? That
sure.
pizza. I was gonna take the kids to get some pizza. But see, the reason why I'm able to travel though is because I use my points, man. Like I use credit for everything. I'm no exaggeration. We shop at Walmart, we shop at Target, we shop at the grocery store. I go get gas. I buy my kids toys. I gotta get fish food. I gotta get cat food. We gotta get clothes. Bought this iPhone. Literally anything that I'm spending, I'm using credit cards. So then what happens is, like I explained to you guys earlier, I'm using my credit cards. I'm racking up all these points. I'm racking up all these rewards, and then eventually it's like, damn, like Navy Fed. Let's talk about my Navy Fed. That's my go-to. My Navy Fed
I
card had
love
like
Navy.
close to 1,000,000 points, and I was like, well, shit, what am I gonna do with all these points? Well, how much do flights cost? And then I started saying like, damn, flights only cost like 20,000-30,000 a person. I got 1,000,000. That's like 8 round trips, and that's just one
But
credit card.
don't aren't the points though? Because I haven't used my Navy. I've let mine. I think I only have. I'm not gonna say how much I have in cash or whatever, but I want to use like the cash on my Navy card for traveling because it's a travel card too. Well, I get higher
Which one?
rewards for
Which
traveling.
one do you have? Because I got all of them.
I,
I'm the one I was just
I got
explaining. Shit, that only does points. The
look.
cash reward.
I only have two of them. I think whatever the green is and whatever the Amex blue. More rewards and cash rewards. I
Yeah,
think is what
so
I got.
you get cash. You get actual cash. You don't get points. The
Look,
both of
you
those.
know what? So I took out $100 off of my whatever the green card is. I can't remember. I think it's cash. Whatever. Anyway,
Is
and it spread so much further than a regular $100. When I was like, I'm gonna go buy this because I went into the store or whatever, and they got everything in there. Yeah, that one. I
I
was
got
like,
all.
let me
I-
look.
I'm like,
You know what?
stay.
I'm trying to. Look. 90 days. I'm going for the flagship. That's what I want.
Look, look,
But no, like
I
it seems like
told y'all.
the
I used to do Capital One. It's an old car, but don't let her make y'all think that I ain't never like Capital One. I've had them.
now he is. Look, I forget my mic in front of me. Now he is, you guys. He's like, oh, this is an old car. Do you still use it, sir? Is it still active? You
I
don't?
try.
Okay.
But see, that's the thing with me. So remember, I teach out of sight, out of mind. So I have like that stack that I always show y'all. Every one of those has a bill attached to it, regardless if it's something small. Like you know how you get those miscellaneous bills that are like $3 a month or something, where the kids want they want something they saw on YouTube, and it's like, oh, it's $2 a month.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We put it on one of these credit cards. I need to have something attached to the credit cards because I want the credit cards to stay open. So if my credit cards are continuously having $2 charges, $2 charges don't add up to nothing. That's nothing, but it keeps my credit
Yeah.
active. It's attached to my bank account, so it's always going to have on-time payments. And even if the interest is hitting, even if I had shit sky high interest at 29% on $2, what am I paying? An extra 30 cents? Like you're not, nobody's gonna notice that. So I don't really care for things like that small, but I'll make sure that my credit cards have a bill. And the ones that don't have a bill are the better cards, the American Express cards, the Capital One cards, the Apple card. Those are the ones where I'm doing my everyday spending. Like I got a gas card for my business, and then I stopped using it. It was the A to B card. The reason I stopped using it is because it didn't reward me as much as if I was just to use a regular credit card. Using the regular credit card rewarded me more than my gas card. So I was like, all right, well, ain't no benefits there. Let me strategically stop using this to keep making more money. And that's the goal. Understanding which credit cards give you the rewards. You got some credit cards that give you 5% for dining out. So if you're somebody that likes to go eat out, use that credit card.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna spend $200-$300. If it's a group of people, or if it's you and your spouse, or you and your family. I know, hell, Shanice, you got just as much as we do in a family. What do like family of 6? When we eat out, I'm not looking under 200. If I can go out to a restaurant,
I hate it.
bill was under $200. Chances are we got some stuff for free, or that was a bad restaurant. Because it's to the point now where I almost expect the bill to be 200 plus because there's so many of us. But that's good because 200 plus at 5%, you make your money back, or you're not gonna make all of it back, but you make a good percentage of that back because of the 5%. 5% is a lot, believe it or not. 5% is, I think, 5% is the most I think any credit card will ever give you back. I've never seen, unless they have like promotional offers or something, but just standard.
I was gonna say, yeah,
is free. So just keep that in mind, y'all. Keep that in mind when y'all are spending your money, because you should not be spending money on anything that's not making some type of money back.
Does Navy Federal have a age minimum to add kids and stuff like that for authorized users?
I want to say 13.
Okay.
I've never asked them. My kids have checking accounts, but what I do with them is I'll spend my card and then I'll send their checking account money to my checking account and I pay it like that. I haven't added them to it.
Right.
I'm waiting until my kids turn 15. Reason being is, 3 years is enough to get from no credit to 700. So it's really no point in me starting too early because I'm already having to manage 30 cards. I ain't trying to manage their cards too. And the last thing for your kid to get a hold of that card with their name on it and go crazy on it. Because
I guess I'll add Anthony and Benjamin to my Navy cards. I got to check their age minimum, but if it's no minimum, like Capital One, another reason why I like Capital One, AJ and Marley are building credit right now, and I personally like that because when they get their first account when they turn 18, you know what I'm saying? It'll be cut in half.
AJ and Marley gonna have like 850s by the time they're 10.
That's what I'm saying, though. You know, they gonna have the credit age. Exact. Yes, add Miaja, add the babies, add them right now. Like, because if there's no age minimum, and it's not just with like Capital One, it's with other institutions too. I just can't name them all off the top of my head. I know for sure Capital One. I think KP is right. He's 13 with Navy Federal. But yeah, it's other ones. I think Discover might have a no minimum, but I'm not sure. You'll have to check with them. But yeah, the more age that you give the kids, like realistically speaking, your credit age is going to be the biggest weighing factor. So if you have, let's say, my daughter she's not even 1. So she has 18 years of credit history. When she turns 18, cut that in half. She has 9. That's over everybody else. So she's still in the 800s, potentially at 850 with just her first card. That means when she gets her first vehicle, even if she's 16, she'll need a cosigner at 16, but let's say 18, right? She don't need a cosigner. She ain't gonna need money down or anything like that. Like the 850, go in there, or 800, whatever it is, go in there, sign for the car, walk off with the car that she wants, and it's gonna be at the lowest possible rate.
I got TikTok, and I want to add on to it. They said adding your kids is a cheat code if you're responsible, and it made me think. I make posts about partnering up with your partners, with your boys or your girls or whatever, getting everybody good credit and going and investing things like that. You can literally start a family investment if you build your kids' credits. Now,
and
you know what I'm saying? Like, think about it.
No, for real. No, imagine
if I get all 700.
No, go ahead.
If I get all 6 of my kids 700 credit score, and they all have access to $50,000, right? And I make sure that the investment is worth it, and I make sure that the Airbnb is gonna make money, or the property that we're gonna invest in is gonna make money, and I gotta have the capital behind it to be able to pay it back. If not, but let's say you make a strategic investment. Instead of me, KP, going in with just $100,000, I have that's $700,000. Well, if you include Jazz, we have close to, if not more than $1 million in capital, because I responsibly built up my children's credit, used the credit to buy something, and now we all own it. So now when my kids turn 18, they already own property that they got with their own credit. Well, I got it for them, but that they got with their own credit. It's in their name. And it's reverse of how I was. You know, my parents, and I hate to say it, Mom, sorry you did this, but they would put credit in our name and our cable bills and electric bills and not pay it. So when I think when I turned 18, I had a 530 credit score with a derogatory mark of something I had no knowledge of, and it was because of a parent or somebody took my credit and got a line of credit and did the negatives. But when you do the positives, imagine 18 and knowing you own a 4-unit apartment building, or at least you own part of it. Now you got income coming in. You can go to college. Your tuition's paid for because you got the capital. When you finally graduate college, or if you decide you want to go another route, you have money that's being made, and you don't have to worry about where the money's gonna come from to pay that back. Your parents don't got to struggle to get the money. You don't have to struggle to get the money. You don't have to stress. You can travel. I love the word travel. I'm gonna just change up my YouTube a little bit and be just traveling. I'm gonna try to travel like once a month. You know what I'm saying? But be like, this is what good credit does. And having that understanding, man, we can break the cycle. We can break the cycle for sure.
Absolutely. Hey, Will.
Information.
I can't wait. Look, yeah. That's their husband and wife. Yeah, husband and wife. Miaja and Will. Hey, y'all.
When Miaja when she was talking, I seen a picture of both of them, and I'm like, I don't know if that's him or that's her, because I ain't see the name. And then Will came. I'm like, I don't know if that's him or that's her, but I see the name, so I got it. But yeah, man,
those are my friends. I finally get to meet Miaja on Friday. We're gonna be in the ATL, so I can't wait. Hey, y'all. But no, like realistically, to hit on what you were saying, KP, imagine, and I'm pretty sure you already have life insurance policies on your kids. So imagine you're building up their credit and you have life insurance policies. You see what I'm saying? Now, all of a sudden, you're pulling cash out of the life insurance policies the day that everybody turns 18, one after the other. It's like, all right, we're going to either buy a duplex or we're going to buy quads. So, and for every child. So, if they have a quad, they have 3 units that's going to be income producing without them having to do anything. You did all the work for them. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm doing for my kids or whatever, because in order for us to, when everybody talks about breaking the, generational, I'm going to say generational curse that we've had forever and ever and ever, like we're the black sheep. It's our job to break this for our children and for them to supersede, and go beyond what we did. So I don't want my kids I want them to struggle in a healthy sense, you know what I'm saying? But to get to a higher level. Like, I'm going to take y'all to where y'all need the level, the playing field is level. And I think that's important for us, especially black people, to just continue to do that for our kids. Like, if we're doing anything, putting it in their names, we have to be responsible for them to be able to, take it next level. And then if you go beyond that and you have everything in a trust, you're setting the kids up to be millionaires before they're 25. Now, if they come out the gate, they say property after property, I have one investment, a quadplex or whatever. I want to get another unit next year. They can do that, and they can keep on doing that. They could be a millionaire as quick as they want to be, or as slow as they want to be, but at least, they don't have to worry or struggle. If they want to work at a job, they can, whatever, it's realistically, it's all up once you set them up.
That's it. All right, so we get we ain't gotta close out, but I got my tooth is killing me. I'm about to head up to the dentist.
Please do get it together.
Not saying that I
Huh?
didn't.
What?
I got. Now I'm talking to the audience. I'm just letting them know, like,
Oh,
take
okay.
care
I
of
was
y'all.
like, what break my these
Yeah, I
teeth?
gotta. It's my wisdom tooth. So I only they when I was younger, my two
Yeah.
bottoms got out, but the two top stayed. So I have a small cavity, but because it's the wisdom tooth, you know, when you brush your teeth, you can't really get
Uh-huh.
back there, like gagging yourself. So it started to get a little bigger, and now it's time for them to just pull them bad boys out because it's killing me. But
Take them out.
that is
That's cool.
that's it. This is what we're gonna start doing, y'all. We promise y'all this because me and Shanice, we are very like last minute. We think of the topics like 9 o'clock in the morning. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I
That's
was like,
why we were 5 minutes late. Like, I don't know what we doing today, y'all.
we go live at 10, but we start preparing at 9. But what we're gonna start, what we'll try to do is come up with like a schedule. I'll make a poll or something to see what you guys want us to talk about, and then we'll just go from there. That way, you'll kind of have a heads up on what we're gonna talk about, and you know we can be more structured. We love talking to y'all, and we always have fun and give y'all information, but we be all over the place.
We do. It's chaotic, y'all. It's chaos. We trying to do this for the people, all of that jazz. Yeah. So I blame KP though for now. You know, I'm just trying to like fill in because KP don't know what he doing. You know.
Hey, she was supposed to create us a statement. Only did that one time. She's supposed to create us a closure.
But yeah,
Lazy.
but no, I did. I did though. That's all we
Just
got.
the post. That's all we got. That's all we
That's all we
got.
got. That like I don't think you don't need nothing more in depth than that. Like that's all we got. All right, y'all, we out. Like you want us a music video at the end? Like I'm confused.
Well, she good. But that's all we got. But appreciate y'all. Every Wednesday, y'all know y'all got us 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. Pacific. Is that Pacific time? Yeah. We got y'all. All right, that's all we got. That's all we got.